in a ditch. There's a new burgomaster. It's Lady Fiona. She made it quite clear that she doesn't own ya. Vargas is deposed. Corvus took Victor's wand. A move, I assure you, Victor's not very fond. The refugees will be given a home in the square. At least they can shelter from the wolves over there. And up in the sky, the thin waxing moon stands as a reminder that Rome needs a plan soon. As if that's not enough to put all ill at ease, someone wrote on the glass, "Help Victor, please." Welcome back to Barovia, everyone.
I mean, I helped him by not letting him have that wand. Okay? Just for the record.
First hit's free. After that, you gotta pay.
Um, the crowd is milling about behind you at what should have been the Festival of the Burning Sun, which has, of course, been canceled with the change of leadership from Baron Vargas Vlakovic to the new Baroness Fiona Watchter. You all stand to the side of the town square where the announcement was just made, and it seems that behind you, Fiona is gathering up some of the town guard and starting to talk to different community leaders in the town square. But what is currently holding your attention is that one of the windows in a storefront nearby has frosted over, and as if a finger was writing in the frost, the words "Help Victor, please" showed up in the glass right next at the bottom of the pane of glass on one of the storefronts.
So we got that. Didn't also didn't Lady Fiona like say, "Oh, you can swing by later to get the reward" or something like that? Or because I remember somebody talked to her. It was like, "Hook us up," and she's like, "Not now. There's people watching."
Mm-hmm.
She owes us, right? Like, what did she promise us?
Probably money, fame, fortune.
My favorite fortune.
So Victor's still in the home of the old Burgermeister Meisterburger.
The old Burgermeister's still definitely alive, right?
Yep.
Probably.
So
we
what
don't
was the
know.
announcement that was made?
The Baron Vargas Vlakovic announced his abdication
Right.
in front of the crowd, and he proposed Lady Fiona Wachter as the new burgomaster of the town.
And does his will decide, or does there have to be like some sort of?
You want to walk up and ask him?
No, I don't know if we knew that or not.
Yeah. So like the words "Help Victor" were written in the frost, and then after a few seconds pause, the word "please" was written out in the frost.
So out of game, she got to the Burgermeister at some point, right? Because like we just killed Isaac, but somehow like in the time since we've killed Isaac, he has decided she is in charge now. I wonder if she like blackmailed him or threatened him or like. She cannot be trusted. She's sketch.
You guys remember seeing several cloaked figures hanging out around the Burgermaster house after you guys left yesterday?
Oh yeah, so as soon as we killed his right hand douche lord,
They
she
swarmed.
like went. Oh yeah, and like threatened or blackmailed or did something sketchy. I mean, he was awful, but like she can't be trusted.
No, and I mean, I understand that you have like a full moon and all coming up, but I think if we're gonna help this
5
kid,
days.
we probably should go now while she's
5
not
days until
there.
I eat your face, and your face is first.
I mean, I feel like it would just be a random roll, so I've got a pretty good chance it's not me.
It's gonna be you.
You guys make it sound like it's our fault that this kid's in trouble.
I mean, we don't know who's asking us to help Victor. Like it does not. I do not feel that helping Victor is an emergency or a crisis.
I feel like help Victor please sounds exactly like something Victor would say.
Yeah, but I feel like didn't the Astani communicate with us in interesting ways before?
Yes. I will say this: if
In
whatever
the frost, as you guys are having this conversation,
I think we're pissing off the frost.
above the help Victor please, the words "My name is Erasmus" is written in the frost.
Oh, I recognize that. Why do we recognize that?
I don't know. Can you spell it? Oh, thank you. Already did. I feel dumb.
Oh, where did you spell it?
Whenever upon hearing you guys say you have no idea who's writing this, that's what it writes.
Abe, check your notes.
I'm checking.
I
Erasmus.
don't see
Nope.
them in the characters.
I don't see it anywhere. But then again, let me
Why does
spell
it
it
sound
like
so
how I
familiar?
spelled it. Erasmus.
Can I recall knowledge, Andy, for bad note taking?
I don't remember when you guys would have learned this name.
Oh,
It sounds familiar.
It's possible you
it
did.
does sound
I just
familiar.
don't remember if you did.
Maybe it sounds familiar just because of like RPG names. Erasmus.
I'm just going to talk to the class. Erasmus, how do we know we could trust you?
I think it's only got so much window to write on it.
Just start like,
even wipe it off.
So like,
just like
Help
huff on the
Victor
bottom part.
Please is written like right at the bottom of the window. The "My name is Erasmus" is right above it. You asked, how do you know if you can trust it?
Yeah.
Allow me to prepare a 5-paragraph essay.
Maybe just bullet points.
Bring me 10 windows and you will have your answer.
Yeah, it just writes "Don't be dumb" above it.
I mean,
Okay.
Sounds like your kind of person.
I'm ready to help him right now. I mean, he sold me.
At that, the several small pieces of straw and pebbles from the ground rise up from the ground and just sort of like quiver in the air for a moment, and then I'll fall back down to the ground.
Is he
Like
trying to scare us?
Like something was there and then disappeared?
Um,
It's like telekinetic stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was more like for all these small objects on the ground. They all just like lifted up, like defying gravity for a moment, and then fell back down.
Lee's gonna look around to see if he can see somebody that looks like they're casting a spell, or
Sure.
Oh, that's super smart. Why didn't we do that?
Secret
We're
perception.
just arguing with a ghost finger. Lee's like, let's figure shit out.
Dear window.
Around you, you see the crowd is kind of starting to disperse. There's a lot of conversations going on around. You don't notice anyone paying particular attention to you guys or to your edge of the square. You do overhear a guard walking by saying, "Well, Miss Watcher says I'm to go get the those blokes from Barovia. Bring them in here. Supposed to use the wood." And then the voice kind of dies away, goes out of range of earshot. That is the most notable thing you notice. Your roll.
Yeah.
The hairs on the back of your neck are up. You sense a presence here that you cannot see.
Even Weezable.
Lee kind of whispers to the others. He says, "I don't see anything, but I suppose we could swing by the house just to check on the boy."
I mean, we do have 5 days.
Andy, do we know how far away this lake is where the wolfsbane grows?
I think I've told you before. I know we've talked about it. I think 2 or 3 days from here.
Okay.
Probably 5 days.
Says
What's her face? Yeah. What time of day is it right now?
You just woke up, right?
Morning.
Festival.
Yeah.
Bro will say we can check on him. I am leaving today for the lake. I can go alone if needed, but I will not delay any longer. I will not be responsible for bringing harm to others if I turn into some sort of monster.
I mean, the wolf said,
I
"Don't."
think I should come with you. I need to help you brew the potion.
She nods, sort of claps Silas on the shoulder.
Sorry.
I would welcome your company, but if you feel that there are more pressing things here, I understand. I need to take care of this. I'm not willing to take a risk.
All right, we swing past the mansion, we break this child loose, and we brew a potion. I feel like that's a pretty good idea.
I agree with Ro. I don't think we can delay on this, her condition, that is, any further. And while Victor's situation may be pressing, I feel like our companion's situation is more pressing.
I agree. We shouldn't be leaving anybody behind, but it also shouldn't take us too long to at least see what's going on.
Should we just write on the window, give us 5 days?
I just want to test something.
What would you like to do?
I want to make sure that Erwin's mace is silver, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, she is quiet and thoughtful, but we can go do whatever.
Where the silver shackles that we had, was that for Rachel's other werewolf character?
I think it was.
Okay.
The other game where I got bit by a werewolf.
I couldn't remember.
Yep.
Been so much lycanthropy with Rachel's characters.
Uh,
Hard to keep them straight.
Yep.
Andy, you gonna be okay, man?
I don't know if you guys have manacles or anything like that.
I don't think so. I was thinking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that was her other character.
Yeah, it totally was.
You have met a blacksmith in town.
Yeah.
Well, even if he makes manacles, there's no guarantee that she won't be able to just break out of them when the time comes.
Yeah.
He'd need silvered manacles, which might be beyond his skill.
Yeah. As we are walking towards Victor's house, Bro will ask, what silver are you all equipped with?
Well, I have the ability to silver any weapon that anyone carries with this salve. But as for what I own, I have these silver bolts.
I've got some bolts and a silver short sword.
Lee pulls out the bottle of the sliver slab. This is all I have, courtesy of Silas.
She just nods thoughtfully.
Now, we could buy some manacles and then silver salve them. Didn't think of that.
How long does the silver salve last?
A day till I rest and resalve.
Okay.
The item description says it lasts for an hour on
hour.
weapon or ammo, so.
The salve itself lasts a day, but the effects of it only last an hour.
God, how long ago did you get bit? I'm trying to find my notes.
It's been a while. We are on our way to this town, right? Because the werewolves were like, "We'll walk with you," and we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, it was after the tower.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was before we got. I feel like we've been here for a few days. I mean, full moon only happens once a month, so.
Uh-huh. All right. Rose deep in thought. And you all arrive at the former burgomaster's mansion.
Ugh.
The front door is closed, but up. No, you don't see Victor in the window upstairs, I'll say. So, the front of the burgomaster mansion. Is this the map or is this the? Of course, no worries. The one. This is the
I don't think I notated
So-
it.
You arrive at the burgomaster's mansion.
We do get up. Just glad she has a restroom across the hall from her bedroom.
That was convenient.
I'm super jealous of that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but I don't know how you do it. Only one bathroom.
It's
That would-
awful.
It would be insane to me.
Just awful.
Like we have 2, and then we have the Pittsburgh potty in the basement, and it's just like, if I need to, I'll just go poop out in the open in the basement just to get some privacy.
Sure.
It's awesome. It's my favorite thing about our house.
So you're at the mansion. What do you guys do?
Well, so I think somebody already answered this, but what time of day is it? What are we talking?
Morning.
Okay. So the question is, how much time do we want to spend on Victor here before we start booking it toward the lake?
I mean, we could just try knocking on the door.
The blessed pool, Kresk.
Is that where it's at, Kresk?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
So should we? I don't know. Is it with a K? Is it with a C? How do you spell Kresk, Andy?
Krezk.
There it is.
Kresk.
So should we just like knock, and then if he doesn't answer the door, we can be like, oh, okay.
We tried.
We tried.
Well, I think knocking would be a good step in the right direction.
Well, after you, Corvus. You seem to have a certain repertoire with people here.
I mean, who knows who lives here now? But I'm gonna bang jauntily on the door.
Sure.
Jauntily.
A jaunty bang.
Ba-bam!
The opening the door is Father Lucian. Actually,
That's unexpected.
and he is there
As
with
unexpected.
Lady Lavina. Not Lady Lavina. What's her name? Shoot.
Isn't she related to him though?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Baroness is there. Lydia. Her. She's there.
Yep.
God, she's so weird.
Totally fine. She's not a demon.
So the two of them are basically right in the foyer area, and he actually opens the door and says, "Oh, hello. I was just leaving." He turns around and smiles at his sister and say, "Everything's going to be all right." And he gives her a smile and pats her on the shoulder. Or no, not a pat on the shoulder. I think they would hug. And then
Didn't say all is well.
he did not say that. But he gives her a smile and gives her a hug, and then he sort of nods at you all and says, "No, I don't think he would say anything to you. He just gives you all like a warm smile and starts walking off down the road back towards the church."
He doesn't whisper to Ro, 5 days.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So she's just
Yep.
hanging out in the doorway.
She looks like she has been crying, but is no longer. She stiffens a bit at seeing all of you, saying, "What are you doing here?"
So sorry, just to rehash, this is the Burgermeister's wife.
Yep.
Slash Victor's mom.
Yep. Slash Father Lucian's sister.
Slash Father Lucian's sister.
Slash definitely the devil.
Well, now's your time, Corvus.
Fuck.
Give me a good drink.
Okay. Pardon our intrusion, lady. We simply were hoping to ask your son a couple of questions. We have something that I think his expertise would do quite well.
Go to roll a diplomacy.
I think that's the one thing I'm not good at. Oh no, it's actually pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty okay.
Blind GM roll.
Ooh. Um, the voice of the Baron echoes down the hall from the dining area of the house. Who is it, Lydia? I'm not in the mood for any visitors. And she kind of like tenses and like tenses up a little bit. But she just sort of like nods and says, I suppose he's upstairs. He could use someone to talk to. Um, Kind of under her breath, she says, not like I could stop you from doing whatever you want anyways. But she steps out of the way. Victor actually steps out of the sort of like looking out from the dining room door here, and upon seeing you all, says, "Oh, hello. Um, what's going on?"
Again, upon our intrusion, it's just a matter that I thought your expertise could go a lot farther than ours. I'm afraid we're quite stumped on this one. Is there someone we can discuss?
He glances up at his mother and looks back to you and he nods and says, I installed some stairs in Ezek's old room. My workshop."
Oh,
He nods and starts heading back up. The wreckage where the floor had burst from Ezek jumping through it now has his stairs are really just like a step ladder that is set up underneath it up into the hole. But it looks like it's kind of been like nailed into place.
it's not stairs at all.
Not
A
stairs at all.
Ten-year-old's hope of a treehouse. Got it.
But this young man probably has never, knows nothing about construction, but well, he goes up and into his workshop.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yep. Lydia's just gonna silently watch you guys walk past unless you say anything to her, but
Punch her in the gut.
Just kind of
warily watching you all.
I'll look at her awkwardly. We're probably the last people these people wanted to see.
Yup.
Hey Dane, do you have that wand
Yeah.
perchance?
I thought I gave it to you.
I'm literally
Not
trying to
gonna
find it.
Is it in the sheet?
I just
Party sheet?
I don't see it. There's a dagger and a
'Cause I feel like-
mace.
I feel like I gave it to him, and then he gave it, and then you took it from him. It's like you were like, you can't have this.
Yeah, I don't know where the wand
I thought you had it back though. You got it back.
I don't think I did. Was that one of the ones where we didn't make a thing for it yet?
Oh, maybe.
Oh no, I do have Kazan's wand.
Yeah, I thought you got it.
I mean,
I do have it.
how bad is it going to be if I just give this one back to this guy?
Well,
It'll fix everything.
I mean, maybe.
he's
He'll be
kind of a
happy
loose
again.
cannon.
But he could be our loose cannon.
No, he's not going to listen to us. And we're going to be gone.
Well,
The trust has been broken at this point.
You guys having this conversation in the house?
oh God, no, I'm
I
following
did
you.
tell I did tell him to nut up or shut up. So
No, I'll follow him upstairs into his workshop. These are some pretty nice stairs for quite a short amount of time.
He sort of stands up straight a little bit, and my father's very cross.
About your stairs.
Sorry, let me laugh.
I just elbow Silas.
About what we did to Isaac.
Are we in his workshop now?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut the door behind him. Us.
Okay.
He taking out his irritation on you?
I'm an acolyte of the wizard Kazan. There's nothing he can do to hurt me.
Damn straight, kid.
All right.
Okay. Is he trying to take out his irritation on
Like
you?
to see him try.
Okay.
I mean, we're getting this guy's wand and just see what happens.
Nope.
What was the guy? What was the guy that wrote the message? What was his name?
His name
Erasmus.
was
Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Victor, does the name Erasmus mean anything to you?
He gives you he gives you like a wary look. Why?
I'm gonna give him a wary look back. Why should it matter?
We were contacted by Erasmus. Who is Erasmus to you?
He rolls his eyes and says, someone that's been helping me. What did he say?
Helping you what?
With a personal matter.
He
One
indicated
that's completely in control.
Erasmus indicated that you might need further assistance.
I told you I had it under control.
Are they talking to Erasmus right now?
Perception check.
Is
Yeah,
Erasmus
I'm
in the room
in
with
on
us right
that.
now?
Erasmus in the room.
Roll for anybody else in the room.
So they're with us.
All right, we all just start frantically looking around.
I didn't roll privately. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, in my experience, those who have it completely under control always say those words.
Silas, you recognize his words could have been directed at you all, but he tilts his head. He tilts his head down and a little bit to the side. And following the line of his movement, you see a mirror that you've seen in his room before, covered with a sheet. It is not covered with a sheet. And he seems to be speaking back towards that corner of the room.
I'll just kind of like shuffle my feet and shift to look in the mirror.
You
I have
want
to-
to walk over there?
Yeah, I have to bend over a little bit to see in.
Don't make eye contact with the mirror.
Yep.
Are those two creepy kid dolls still in here?
Three in the corner.
Okay.
I was gonna say, is he talking to one of the dolls?
Okay. Okay. Seeing that you start shuffling in that direction, Victor kind of deflates a little bit. His posture, his shoulders just drop and kind of just shrinks a little bit, and his sort of demeanor softens. And talking towards you, Silas, he will say, Stella and Erasmus have decided that I need help. It might not be entirely wrong.
You say Stella and Erasmus?
Stella and Erasmus. Man, do those names sound familiar, guys?
Dude, they sound real familiar.
Do they?
I'm gonna inspect the mirror if I can.
Sure. You get to the mirror and you see
Stella and Erasmus.
Nowhere in my notes.
a image of a young lady. Did that come over?
Broken image. Haven't seen that since 1998. Yeah, it's got the little broken image symbol. I'll try to look at it. Looks like this.
Stella and Erasmus.
I have no idea.
Was that the name of like the two kids?
No, that was Clara and something.
Stella
The
and
two
Erasmus.
kids in the mansion.
Yeah.
Stella! Do we have any items that have that stuff in it? Like, it does sound really familiar.
Yeah, I don't think those are the name of the kids. I think one of the kids was Clara, or was Clara the nanny who was having a
No.
baby? I think that was Elizabeth.
We don't have like a book. We don't have like a book that's
Centers.
Tales of Stella and Erasmus.
Clara was the nanny.
Clara was the nanny.
Elizabeth and Gustav were the parents.
Rose and Thornbolt.
Rose and Thorn, right?
Stella
Rose
watched
Revolta,
her.
Thorn
Stella
Bolt.
watched her.
Stella
Andy.
who?
Stella watched her. I didn't think of that myself. Andy just literally gave us the answer.
Oh.
I did? Oh, the name of the picture?
The name of the picture, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, is Stella the... Wait, what?
That
I
is
probably
Stella.
wouldn't. We met a Stella.
Was she like the spacey girl?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Who's Erasmus? Is that Wachter House? Stella is vacant.
So you
Fiona
see
cares about
a
Stella.
figure, a familiar young woman that you recognize as the same young woman you saw in the Watcher house, who gives you kind of like a shy wave whenever you walk in front of the mirror. Victor behind you says, Silas, this is Stella, my friend.
I'm gonna turn around.
He uses a big F. Friend.
Oh, like,
Okay, capital F.
okay.
No. My friend.
Victor, what's going on here?
3 months ago, we heard, Stella and I, we heard that Strahd had returned. We agreed we had to escape. We looked at all we could into
girlfriend.
his.
My boyfriend.
We tried to learn what we could from Kazan's old spellbook. And we began trying to make a teleportation circle. He kind of looks over at the circle of wood in the corner. So we could get out of this cursed place. About 10 weeks ago, we finished. We thought we did it. We experimented on some of my creations, my magical creations. He glances over towards the
in the corner.
Nope.
The skeletal cat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, I'm fine with that.
But then, once they worked, Stella insisted on volunteering as the human trial. Her body didn't go anywhere, but her spirit,
Oh no!
her soul, seems to have been ripped from her, sent to the ethereal plane.
That's why she's vacant.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
Is this cursed lore? Because I got cursed lore.
Yeah, it sounds like curse lore. Sure.
All right.
Yeah, curse lore.
Roll some
Yeah,
curse
some
lore.
werewolves we curse lore.
That's true. I could have done all kinds of werewolf knowledge.
Could be.
Look at that cursed lore.
Knowing what you know of curses, this tracks with what you saw from Stella's body being totally vacant, like minimally responsive to what other people, directors, say for her to do. The spirit being removed from her body just takes a lot of that humanity and life from her. The ethereal plane you would recognize as a like a parallel plane to the prime material plane, where spiritual entities and creatures of the soul reside. It's linked usually in some ways towards like death and afterlife in many beliefs of cosmology. I didn't know at first what happened. But while she was there, she was only there for a few moments. She was attacked by some sort of dark shadow, which stole her soul from her body and kept her there, her soul in the ethereal. I didn't know what to do, but over the coming days, my parents' servants began seeing her spirit reflected in mirrors. They all started to believe the house was haunted and ran one by one. I'm afraid that our latest mate is slowly losing her mind as well. The mirror is my mother's. It's a magical mirror that reflects both the material and the ethereal plane. You can't hear through it, but we can communicate through signs. And he does a few like hand signs to her through it. We learned through a book in my father's library. It's crude at first, but we've learned how to communicate.
What can she see on the other side? I kind of just caress the mirror.
What's that?
I kind of caress the mirror inquisitively, and I say, "What can she see on the other side?"
She Victor would she actually reaches out and like touches her ghostly hand sort of touches where your hand is on the glass,
Yep.
and it begins to get cold there.
Fascinating.
She's seen Erasmus, and this the spirit that hunts them. They keep from it as much as they can. It seems to be after Stella in particular. The tether that's keeping her here, though, it's growing shorter. I feel like she is perhaps a little more than a week before she disappears forever. Perhaps only
5 days.
days.
5 days.
5 days.
So you're telling me the tether's still intact? Then there's a possibility we can bring her back. What have you
So.
tried so far?
That's what I've been working on. I think I've identified the type of spirit it is. A gallows speaker.
A what?
Is that? Can I roll some kind of knowledge to see what I know? If I know what kind of spirit that is. Occultism, perhaps.
Sure, yeah. He wanders over. He probably. Let me see. Probably religion.
Religion. Hmm.
May I also roll a religion?
I know about occults, but not about religions. I'll try it though.
Yeah, cults usually would deal more with like demonology and stuff like that. I think
Yeah, that makes sense.
undead's usually more in the religious wheelhouse. Oh yeah, you probably don't. This is a pretty. You roll very well, Rachel, but this is a pretty obscure spirit. You've heard of heard of these beings. Um, uh, they are spirits that tend to hunt out of vengeance, and then harbor very deep resentment and ill will for like specific wrongdoings.
Not good.
Yeah.
Who is this Erasmus? He seems to have
He's
some
the young-
ability to interact with the material world.
He's a spirit himself. A lad, not more than a lad. Erasmus von Richten.
Rickton.
I believe he's been a spirit for quite some time. He was there whenever Stella first crossed over.
That's why that guy's so pissed off all the time. It's probably his son or something.
Wasn't there a ghost that was talking to the girl? Right? She said your son.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good memory.
right,
Good
yeah.
memory. That's almost
She was
like
talking-
hero point memory there.
She was
That's
talking
your point
about
of memory right there, Rachel.
of space.
Yep. Annabelle told von Richten that that his son was helping her
Right.
in the cabin, keep people away.
Right.
Well, shit.
Well, shit. Victor's kind of moving over towards a table off to the side, and he has a big tome open there. Silas, since you're kind of booky, you would recognize it as actually the first time you met Victor in the library. He was grabbing some books. This was one of the books he was grabbing in the library the first time you guys entered the Burgomaster's mansion. It is a tome. This book is Ethereal Entities. I've been reading quite a bit about it. I've seen some of the. There's not much, but there is something of the gallows speaker in here.
I'm gonna read the entry on the gallows speaker.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, essentially it. Let's see. uh, it's a powerful undead that hunts the ethereal plane, and is known for being like wildly vengeful and violent.
Fun.
Erasmus seems to have some knowledge about these things. What does he suggest?
They're nicknamed the Gallows. Probably further in the book, they're nicknamed the Gallows Speaker because they're often found haunting areas of execution or mass execution, and are believed to be spirits that believed they were killed wrongly and unjustly. I could probably use your help looking through some of this, Silas, to be honest.
What's Erasmus's part in this? How is he helping her?
For the most part, he's been helping her stay away from this Gallows Speaker. He told me a lot about the Gallows Speaker himself. He said he learned it from a book from his father.
Is there anything in here about how to eliminate the Gallows Speaker? Exercise them, if you will.
He shows you the entry, which is fairly sparse. That's not quite this kind of book. Then von Richten might have known more from his entries, but this is more of an academic piece, I'm afraid. He's you can tell like he's holding it in, but he's looking pretty like pretty frustrated. Um, 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 I'm afraid they're probably right. Time is short. Stella doesn't have much more time, and I don't think I can solve this in the amount of time we have left.
It's heavy, man.
For this to succeed, I would have to find a way to enter the ethereal plane. Which
Oh
I don't
boy.
know. I would have to go there on my own and perform some sort of teleportation from the other side to get her spirit back. There is a spell I've read of in Kazan's spellbook, Etherealness, which could do it, but I'm not that powerful. I haven't been able to master that one. Certainly not before her spirit has gone into the deep ethereal beyond any of our grasp.
But if you enter this plane, then you're open hunting season for this Gallows Speaker.
I don't have much planned for the Gallows Speaker myself, but I just want to get Stella back. She was kind to me. She's my friend.
Girlfriend.
Stop. No. Ew. In the mirror, actually, I guess she wouldn't hear, but
If we could defeat this gallows speaker, would that buy her more time?
perhaps I'm not sure if it's the gallows speaker that's causing her tether to be stretched thin, or if it was the initial attack that's just causing the general weakening over time. Perhaps her own lack of skill in the ethereal realm, or I don't know what exactly it is that's causing her to diminish.
Victor, I know things are dire, but can you give us a minute here?
Sure.
Well, we'll just be a minute. I'm gonna try to huddle up with the rest of the group here.
You gonna go out into like the main attic?
Yeah, we'll go out into the attic space where we put the hole earlier. This doesn't sound like a quick fix.
No.
And it seems like we're running up against multiple clocks here. What do we do?
I leave tomorrow morning for the lake.
I'm coming with you. I've already decided that. This whole situation is tragic. I admit that, but I feel like the best solution to it is to give Stella peace. But I don't think she can get that while that Gallo. What is it called? Gallo Snatcher?
That's
Speaker.
definitely what
Speaker.
it is. Gallows snatcher.
Well, the Gallo speaker is after her. Suppose we could split the party to solve this one. Jim's like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Victor's failed teleportation sent her there. Is there a way to reverse it?
It sounds like he's got to be on the other side.
I mean, I have some
the ethereal realm himself, and he doesn't know how to do that.
some arcane knowledge, but probably not enough to understand anything that he did. Now, I do have this wand, and he used one of Kazan's spells to do this.
Didn't we have like some like staff or some other artifact from Kazan's tower that we did not tell him about?
I have the ring. It's on my
the
finger.
ring. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you identify it?
I did.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet. It doesn't do anything to help us here, though, unfortunately.
Okay.
He wanted a staff, right? We didn't find a staff.
Yeah. Staff.
Probably would have helped. I don't think we know what the wand does, though. Still, we never identified the wand.
Andy.
Yeah.
In my deck of Turok, I have a card that's the ghost, right? It's been long enough I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is my deck. And I think one is a scary looking ghost. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna shuffle through it. And I'm gonna go. I'm all about leaving tomorrow. But this is concerning, and I'm gonna flip it around. It's this scary looking ghost with a lamp and chains. So far, everything in this deck has led us to the next.
Hold on a second. I need you to say something for me.
I will. I will say it for you.
Whisper it. Because you need to do it in your best, like, creepy oracle fortune teller voice, though.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
And he is the greatest.
Right. Can you even just believe this fucking guy came up with all this? Oh my god.
So amazing. As if these words are coming through me, or I'm just saying them happenstance.
No, you're being chanted. This is you're unlocking some knowledge from this card you're holding.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, all right.
You like that knowledge? I like that knowledge.
Dump some knowledge on us. Some knowledge dump.
So Corvus's eyes kind of roll back in his head as he finishes that and goes, "Stir the spirits of the clumsy knight whose crypt lies deep in the castle."
Good one. Good. That was good.
I'm just
Have a
saying
hero
that I
point.
think this card has something to do with anything. What?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm just saying this card is important.
No. Say the thing you just said in the weird voice 2 seconds ago.
Stir the spirits of the clumsy knight
Clumsy knight who resides in the castle?
whose crypt
crypt
lies deep
resides
in the castle.
You know, I think it's rude. This is just what my voice sounds like.
Corvus, what do you see
You-
in that card?
You literally just said those words.
Well, it's a terrifying ghost with chains.
That memory sits deep within your soul now.
Oh.
You know what you saw. Something linked to Castle Ravenloft.
Oh my god, we can't go there.
So I blink for a minute and then I just repeat it. Stir the spirits of the clumsy knight whose crypt lies deep within the castle.
Can you put that in the chat just for note taking?
I added it to the Taraka allies.
Stir the spirit, not the spirits. Okay. Oh.
Direct allies.
Innocent ghost. Oh my god, okay.
Wow, he's terrifying.
Well, I told you.
Stir the spirit of the clumsy knight whose crypt lies deep within the castle.
It's definitely Ravenloft.
It's only one castle you've learned of in this land.
I don't like it. What did we? There were statues of knights at Ravenloft, right?
Yeah.
Dragon knights, yeah.
You have seen some statues there, yep. Dragon Knights.
Damn, I thought I could link that. Oh, I can't. Oh, can't.
Victor pokes his head out of his door. Have you talked enough? You need more time. I'll just read this book some more. He walks back into his office.
You remember when we left the castle and there was an undead dude, and he said, "Find the Order of the Silver Dragon or in our false holt. Sir Godfrey will help you." We never did that.
Argenvost
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, we never did that.
It's a vast land with many things to see.
There's only so many things you can do at once.
Yeah, but the undead dude told us to find the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Find Sir Godwin.
Anyway, Victor, we'd love to help you. It's not that we can't help you. we kind of are on a tight deadline here. Andy, can I roll my curse lore? Is there anything else that we could do with this lycanthropy to delay the effects? Maybe give us another day, week, maybe.
Sure.
Curse lore.
And you've also had this book from Von Richten, The Study of the Werewolf's Curse, that you've been
that's right.
having some time to read.
We have that.
From what your own knowledge and Von Richten's knowledge of this is, that a person who spurns the curse's allure and does not allow themselves to give in to those bestial nature can generally control it, except for on the night of the full moon.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Those people, even the most strong-willed people from Von Richten's and your own knowledge of this, are left with hazy nightmarish memories of that one night. Bloody reflections of the foul deeds they did. And nothing more.
So, again, this sounds very familiar, but maybe we just lock her up somewhere.
That you have, Von Richten has had some success in his own writings about keeping someone chained. In one particular instance, he kept a companion of his chained up on the nights of the full moon until
Rose pretty determined to head to that blessed pool.
Ro doesn't trust you all to keep her contained well enough.
I don't know that I trust us all to keep you properly contained. Sounds like something we would easily flub.
She trusts Lee to do what needs to be done, not Corvus and Silas.
You know who probably has a whole bunch of manacles and chains? Fiona Wachter. She probably has manacles and chains somewhere.
Yeah, I don't want to. Nope, I don't want to be in her dungeon.
So while you guys were talking, since Victor kind of popped out to see if you guys were done, seeing you guys were still kind of hedging a bit, he popped back into his workshop. So he's back in there right now. You guys keep talking.
You stay here and look at Victor's books with him. I will see what I can find locally to see if we can gather enough resources where it feels safe to weather the full moon.
Okay. I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna open the door to the room and say, Victor, we're gonna help you.
It's morphin' time.
Show me your books.
Show me all your books.
And then I'd like to go into a book reading montage.
Yeah, book reading montage.
I'm gonna need a montage.
Okay. We will get to the Silas's book reading montage. That's going to take probably an hour or so.
That's fine. That's what the montage is for.
Right. So we're going to montage that. But in the meantime, what is Corvus and Lee? What are you two going to do? Well, it sounds like Ro's going to be. Well, I guess I'll need to know where all three of you are going.
Pulling in some favors.
Ro will huddle up with Corvus and Lee.
Hey.
If we can find a basement or a cellar or some sort of pit where we can pull up the ladder or stairs or rope and there is no exit, and we can also commission some silver manacles, I could stay there overnight, and you all could be armed with silver in case I escape.
I think we should speak with the father about this. He might have the best idea of what's in town that might suit that. situation.
I agree with Lee there. I mean, he does in fact have a hole in the ground with one entrance. Just saying.
And if not the church, he may know another place we could use.
Perhaps someone has a very deep well.
I mean, oh, they've got 5 days to dig a nice hole. I feel like that one guy owes us anyways.
Bill Vaj.
The grave digger.
We did spare his
You're
life.
probably not wrong.
Some night you could dig me a werewolf.
Lee gave him an inspirational talking to at the end.
That's true. Lee could probably pull this off.
All right, I'm going to the blacksmith to see what I can commission.
Sure.
I'm gonna.
Orvis, will you find a hole for me to sleep in?
Listen, sir, this is going to be a weird request, but I need some chains. Specifically, they need to be silver.
And a hole.
And we're going to need a hole in the ground.
My size plus 2 sizes, please.
Plus 2 sizes.
I was actually gonna stay to see if I could lend an aid to the hell's his name? Victor and
All right, I'll find my hole.
Silas. Well, no, I just thought I was just
No,
implying
it's
that
okay.
maybe
You want her to kill everybody in Malaki. That's fine. You can just say that. Say that next time.
I'm quite handy when it comes to the magical arts. I
That's
thought
fine. I
perhaps I
understand.
could
You
be.
care more about this ghost girl than you care about me. I understand.
Well, that's not true.
All right, I'll see you later. Bye.
Say less. Say less, Corbin. Say less.
Corvus just leaves. He looks disappointed and confused, and he's just gonna leave.
Orvis, stay in hell, Victor. It's fine.
Now I don't know what to do.
Stay. I'll go talk to the father and see if he has any ideas.
Okay. I'll go to the blacksmith. Leo go to the father. Corpus will stay and be a douche. And Silas will stay and be helpful.
I'm not putting it in my notes that way.
Refuse.
Lee goes, finds a hole. Go find a hole.
Sure.
Got it.
Okay. We'll go with Lee first. So Lee heading toward the church. Oh shoot, guys! I have music. I haven't been using any music. What am I doing? Church music.
Take me to church.
Okay. So you arrive. You walk fast enough, and you guys haven't been talking for all that long. So you probably catch up to old man Lucian on his way back to the church. So yeah, you when you're nearly at the church, like maybe a block or two away, you catch up to Lucian, who's wandering. You actually probably see that he's paused to like talk to some people on the way. You get the picture that he is a community figure and he does his best to like reach out to people in the town when he can. But he sees you coming and he says, "Oh, hello, Lee. I was just heading back to the church. Care to join me for a prayer?"
Sure. Yeah. I'll follow you.
He smiles and slaps you on the shoulder. Harder than you expected. There's probably twice or three times now you've caught glimpses of like the formidable man, the formidable like warrior of his god that this man used to be before age started taking its toll on his body.
Still got old man strength.
He's got old man strength. Like you're like, oh, like you see it every once in a while. Like he stooped a lot, but you look at him like, oh, if he stood up tall, he's probably be like 6'3", something like that. But just like hunched down. But yeah, he'll go with you to the church. Um, while you're walking back the last block or two, um, Father Lucian, after a few moments of silence and walking, says, "Quite a morning, wasn't it?"
Oh, you mean the murder thing that we just did?
Yeah, I guess there'll be a lot of changes here. I hope it'll be more positive than not. At least the refugees will have a place to stay.
There will be that. From what I've heard so far, the townsfolk seem to be, well, nervous about it. But with a few kind words here and there, you can see that underneath the nervousness, they're ready to help a neighbor in need. Some of the fear is gone in these people. It's amazing what a little bit of fear can stop good people from doing the right thing.
It's true. I hope, if nothing else, there'll be some stability here.
He just smiles at you and says, "So do I." Well, it's kind of you to walk me back. Um, you're welcome to come in if you wish. Or is there something
Actually,
I can help you with?
yeah, there is something you can. Well, it's not for me. It's for my companion, Ro.
Hmm,
But why don't we talk inside?
of course. Yeah, he leads you inside, and he actually just like grabs one of the closest pews to the door and sits down.
Leo, look around and make sure that like there's nobody else in the church that would
Yeah, I would say it's probably empty this morning, being a mandatory festival day.
He says, our friend Ro, well, I'll just come right out and say it. She's been inflicted with lycanthropy, and with the full moon coming up, well, she doesn't want anybody to get hurt. And it doesn't look like we'll be able to solve this, at least in time, for this month. And we're looking for a place that we can put her overnight where she won't hurt herself or anybody else. Maybe some sort of basement where you could remove the ladder, or a deep well, or something along those lines.
See, she came to me about the affliction a day or two ago. I couldn't help, unfortunately. The the touch of the Dawn Father is weaker here than well elsewhere. Um, I'm certain there's something we could do. The There are the stocks in the yard, though. I'm not sure if the wooden stocks would be able to hold her if she changes forms. It's possible that um, the Watcher House has been in and out of leadership here several times. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of holding cells in the house somewhere. It was once the seat of the baronship. Um, you were thinking
Probably
of
that'll be
something to
our
lock her away, that kind of thing.
yeah. Although I think the Watchtower House would probably be a last resort. I don't know that we want the lady to know,
Hmm. You fear something nefarious.
or that she would simply use it against us or against Ro.
He emphasized the word fear. Um, it's possible. Uh, he looks around the big cathedral area here, which is mostly open. We could always try to chain her to something in here if you wish. There's not very many. I don't really have any iron cages or anything like that, but
Do you know of any crypts, underground crypts or the like?
um, he says, "I have none that are linked to the church. We have quite a bit of space in the yard outside, which is where most of the burials happen as well. I believe some of the bigger manor houses have their own personal uh, uh, family burial sites. Some of these houses do have plots in their yards with headstones and the like. I could see about Milvaj beginning to dig something if you wished, um, something like a crypt, but I'm not sure." He he looks up towards the sky, and you can tell he thinks about the number of days. What are we? 5 days from the full moon?
Yeah.
Possible.
Something like that.
What about maybe also outside of town? Would there be like an old abandoned well or something like that?
He thinks through it. Um, uh, he looks at his map. There is the lake. Uh, it is said that werewolves do not like the water. Let's see. The the town has a well in the square. It does have water in it. I'm not sure how deep it is. Um, a young lad fell in, a year or two ago. They fished him out pretty quick, but he couldn't touch the bottom.
I suppose we could do that as an option, or maybe put her on a boat out on the lake and anchor it in the middle.
Mm. And I would be happy to be of service that night as well if you needed someone to watch her and make sure everything goes to plan. I would be happy to have her here under my care. I can talk to Milvaj about digging some sort of a crypt, as you say. Perhaps it's about time we had something like that here.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe have him get started on that, and we can consider the other options as well.
He nods and he actually glances off towards the room where Irina was sleeping, which you know is sort of like a small office room that he keeps for the church stuff. But he thinks for a moment when he says, "Come to think of it, um, the church coffers have a little bit more in it than usual. Perhaps I can see if Milvaj would be able to hire some more laborers and see if we can dig a little bit faster."
Well, thanks for your help, Father. If you think of anything else, we'll probably be in town at least for the rest of today, and then we'll be departing and back in time for the full moon.
Regardless of what you choose to do with Roe on that night, I would like to be there.
Of course, I'm sure she'll be happy to have you.
nods and gives you a smile. Well, he creaks and stands up. I'll go find Milvage. We'll start digging that crypt, as we say. In the meantime, I suggest you get some chains and strong locks.
I'll head over to the blacksmith. She's there now. See if she needs any help.
Nods. On your way out, if you are heading out, you actually do see Milvage is sort of coming in the front of the church as you're walking out. He gives a start. Says, "Oh, hello. There's Lee, right?
That's right.
You having a good day?"
I guess about as good as could be expected.
Right.
How about you, Milbad? You staying out of trouble? Huh?
Lee just kind of gives him like the questioning eyebrow.
I was just going to work over there in the church.
Hey, listen, Milovage. Take care of yourself, okay? I mean it.
He looks down and he says, "I just want to make things right."
You're a good kid. You'll do all right.
He just sort of like looks to the ground and nods. Says, you too. He's just sort of gonna shuffle off into the church. All right. Well, Lee, what were you doing?
He's gonna head over to the blacksmith because he knows that's where Ro is.
Right, blacksmith. Right. All right. So then, Corvus, what were you doing?
I was staying back. I want to just try to see if I can, I don't know, ascertain anything about either, maybe have a conversation with, Victor,
Yeah.
about, do you think there's a way you could transfer this spirit here or us there? All of us, of course, not just one of us.
I believe I have what I'd like Silas and I to mostly research here is finding the a ritual which would mimic and replicate the effects of an etherealness spell, but would be much more within my realm of being able to perform it. The best I can do is altering the things that I can see an effect on the prime material plane. I've never seen anything about bringing something from the ethereal plane here. Other planes, yes, of course, obviously, it's commonplace to call demons and devils if you wish to. That's a different plane of existence, though. You see. He's completely like diverted from the book for a few moments while he starts to dither about demons and devils.
So you're talking about bringing somebody back from a parallel plane.
I've never seen anything about that.
What would happen if you replicate what you did, but on a larger scale? Would you send everyone?
That's an idea.
Or would we turn into that cat?
No. Yes. No, not the cat. The first thing. Yes.
Okay.
Because scientifically, we know what happened the first time with the teleportation circle. Perhaps with a larger effect, we could send all of us. Yes. That's brilliant. Of course. Let's do that.
Now, hold on a second.
Well,
Corvus, that isn't a bad idea, but you mentioned it yourself. You saw what happened to, and I just kind of indicate the cat.
Oh, no, it was already dead.
That
it's probably why
doesn't
it
give me
didn't
much more
work.
cover. Doesn't give me much more comfort.
It was bones, you see, that I got from those hunters, Soldar and the quiet one.
Which is the
I
one they
thought-
shot?
What?
Nothing.
Those are different hunters, right? You didn't shoot those hunters.
No,
The two hunters that,
No,
that
those
were,
the
two.
werewolves.
The different ones.
The ones on the mountain, the different hunters.
yeah, the one that had a cabin up near the lake that had set out traps for the werewolves.
That's right.
Or they gave you a warning about the werewolves, and they were sympathetic about Arabelle. Yes, they sold me animal bones so I could animate them to be test subjects.
Wow.
Oh, how nice.
But if,
But-
okay,
But what happens if we get trapped in the ethereal plane as well? There's not going to be anybody to try to bring us back.
Well, it could be. The thing is, wait, no, we need to research.
Good idea. I'm gonna go back to researching.
Yes. Okay.
I think
We'll go back
you're on
to
to something, Corvus. We just need to figure it out when we get a little closer.
well,
Um,
I'm just saying, if we all go there, we can destroy this creature, and then you can tether her spirit along with us back.
so Silas reads all the left-hand pages, and Victor reads all the right-hand pages.
They hold
And then-
hands.
Touch foreheads.
Touch foreheads.
Fusion dance.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
Irina went with Hero, by the way,
Meanwhile, Arena went with you.
to the blacksmith.
Call the blacksmith.
Okay.
And you okay, buddy?
I'm fine. We'll figure this out. And we'll do what we need to keep everyone safe.
Including you.
Sure, I'm somewhere on the list.
Irina just says, "Yep." So I've never known a werewolf before, but
I'm not a werewolf.
But if you
Right.
were,
like you can't break out of manacles, right? I'm sure there's something we can do. It's going to be okay.
Or just nuts. Are you alright? It's been a trying couple of days.
Yeah. Another day in Barovia. She smiles. I'm sad. I never knew Izek. I do not remember him as a brother. To assume he wasn't always like that. And I wonder what if he and I had been in different positions. Maybe you would be traveling with him right now, and I would be, dead with no head somewhere.
That's right. We cut his head off too. And like Irina was there for all that.
Yep. It was.
I
was
told her
real
to
bad.
not watch. It's fine.
It was real bad.
We obviously did the right thing. Couldn't have been reasoned with. But I don't know. Children don't start like that, do they?
Rose shakes her head. They don't start like that. Circumstances shaped them.
You arrive at the blacksmith. There's a withered middle-aged lady in there tending the forge with a few younger apprentices, girl and a couple boys.
Do I know if Irina has a silver weapon? Did she chime in earlier when I asked?
I think you guys did maybe give her a silver short sword?
Abe, did you give her your silver short
I
sword?
feel like we had multiples because I feel like I had
No, she just
another
has a
one.
regular rapier.
I mean, she could have it, I guess.
No, I mean, you need it.
I don't really use it.
You're gonna need it.
I'm gonna use the retribution axe against you. Don't worry.
Is it silver?
No, but it's retribution.
It's
I-
retribution.
I don't think anyone give a shit about your retribution, but I'm a werewolf.
You do know Fiona Watcher offered you guys some weaponry and armor as from her own personal armory as part of her reward. So
Okay.
Lee was right about that, but she did tell you some specifics long ago whenever she first had you take this job.
Yeah.
Or the job for getting rid of Isaac. Yeah, the blacksmith here. What would you like to try to get?
Ro will talk to the blacksmith and just say, we anticipate the need to deal with a werewolf at the next full moon. And would like to be prepared.
It's
to
a
have
good
any
opener. Good opener.
silver weapons in stock.
Oh, no silver, ma'am. No silver's allowed in town. It's all gathered up by the Baron. I mean, former Baron, I suppose.
Sure. So nothing in stock. How long would it take you to craft some silver items?
She scratches her head. Never really worked silver myself, but I could look into it. I have a notebook from my old master. If it's the same as forging steel, I can work through quite a bit in a day. Especially with my assistants. We have other commissions on hand.
Sure. I'm willing to pay well for your time to get to the top of your priority list. Time is of the essence. I would like Irina Pies with a rapier, yeah?
Yes.
Minus 2 silver weapons. I done read it in a book. Okay. I would like a silver rapier.
I'm sorry. I probably wasn't very clear to start with. I don't have any silver
How
to make anything.
can you smelt silver coins into silver weapons somehow?
I probably could.
How much would you need to coat? Or I don't know how it works, but how much silver do you need in terms of coins in order to?
She looks down at a work list that's on like a little crude table that's at the front of her store. So you see she has a work list of like different orders that are on. So she glances through that and she says, you can hear her mumbling, saying, "Put Yusep there, and I'll put Lynn on this one." I tell you what, I'll need to do a little bit of reading into my own notes on how to do this. Could you stop back this afternoon? I don't know enough about the process right now to give you a honest answer, and I'm an honest worker.
I appreciate that. And as I said, I'm happy to pay whatever cost it takes to rearrange your orders.
Which makes me wish I wasn't so honest. Please, if you come back this afternoon, I would love to be able to do this work for you. But I would need to read a little bit more about it. If you find some raw silver ingots, that would be ideal. I'm sure I could do something with the coins, but I just don't know how much. Um, she puts on a little like steel ingot up. She's saying this here would probably make a full sword or a full 10-foot length of chain. Um, this is about the volume of. She pulls out a copper piece and holds it up and eyeballs it. Maybe 100 coins.
So 100 silver coins
She shrugs.
to smelt into a sword.
If they're pure silver without alloys in it, if if it is an alloyed material, I, I, I'll have a better answer for you in the afternoon. I can have my assistants take care of the rest of the work, and I can dedicate myself to reading the notes and learning what I need to do.
Bro will just nod. Say, I thank you for your time.
If it's iron you want, that's a much simpler answer, and I can have that for you now. But
I think we're gonna need silver.
because of the werewolf
Yes.
in Valaki.
The goal is to not have a werewolf in Valaki.
Of course, yes. That's an admirable goal.
That should be everybody's goal.
There's no need to fear. This is all purely preventative risk management.
Hypothetical, if you will.
And if we cannot make this happen in Valaki, we will travel far into the country to deal with it there. The people here will not be at risk. You have my word.
Have you ever made a muzzle? Says Irina from behind you.
Or just closes her eyes, like a long, slow blink.
Sure, the lady says. I'm going to start reading. Give me 2-3 hours.
Sure, thank you. I thank you for your time.
Okay.
And Ro will turn and walk out of the blacksmith.
Irina just says under her breath as you leave, she says, what? It's an option. Can't bite through an iron cage on your face, right?
I'm not sure what I can bite through.
While you are on your way back, actually, no, we're going to go back to. No, now's a good time for montage. Then we're going to do a leetage. Walking through town taj. So, reading montage. So, when learning about the ethereal plane, some of this you probably already knew bits and pieces of, Silas, but you're going to lock it in here by reading through this book, written by the some guy called Mordenkainen. This
Never heard of him.
Ethereal Entities by Mordenkainen. So the ethereal plane is a place that mortals can travel to, and Mordenkainen writes in at length about spells that are used to travel to the ethereal plane. While there, souls that are linked to living beings are held to their bodies by tethers, which is what keeps the connection of life with their living body. If that tether is ever broken, the soul is forever gone, separated in the ethereal plane, and would require some sort of like a raised dead. Essentially, that is what kills the person. The person is thereafter dead or soulless, and it would take priestly magic of a strong nature to essentially resurrect the person. So that kind of would answer your question about if you are traveling via like an etherealness spell, you would have similar tethers, theoretically. That would link you back to your bodies and the mirror prime material plane.
Gotcha.
And it sounds like from what Victor has surmised through communicating with Stella that this creature had torn at Stella's tether in their first encounter. And since she's been basically able to avoid and hide from it with the help of Erasmus, who is he's just a ghost.
Gotcha.
So he has no tether. Ethereal entities has many sections. However, you gather from this that I'm gonna need an Arcana check.
Dun-dun-dun. Arcana.
Con it up. Here we go.
And since you were there, Corvus, are you assisting in any way? Are you have any kind of stuff you're gonna try to do to
My thought process was try to assist. I don't know, by popping in and out of answers. Probably be more annoying for Silas than anything else, but I'm imagining it's helpful.
I feel like Silas would be annoyed by it, but he's also annoyed by the fact that Corvus actually has helpful things to contribute.
It's just okay.
He's like,
yeah.
Damn, you're right.
So yes, I'm assisting.
All right.
Okay.
So how does that work? He rolls first, and then based on his roll, I get a
You're
circumstance.
gonna roll something here first.
Okay, what do I have to roll?
You want to roll a diplomacy?
Okay, yes, I would love that.
You're helping to bounce ideas and stuff. Very good.
Nice.
So that would be a +2 to your roll.
Oh, nice.
+2 circumstance bonus.
All right, how do I? +2. There it is.
Is that the first time an assist has ever worked in this
Okay.
group?
Might be.
Oh,
For the assist.
hell yes.
Nice.
It's very good. It's a very good roll.
Good roll.
Yeah. So through this, you devise through that there is a sort of a ritual that can be performed with specific components on the night of a full moon.
Of course.
Ba-ba-ba.
Sorry, it gives you. It's a 3-day window. The 3 days around. So the day before and the day after a full moon.
Oh, we got time. Or we send her in, and she's like a nuclear bomb that just rips people to shreds.
So you have a 3-day window when a ritual can be performed that is a ritual of etherealness. There it is. Can be performed on up to 9 creatures and requires some fairly germane material components. But what jumps out at you is that it requires the heart stone of a night hag.
I'm sure those are at every Walmart in Barovia.
And when you point that out to Victor, something clearly like clicks in his mind, and he flips through his own personal notebook, where you can see he's been you catch a glimpse, and he's like mostly been keeping notes of like the things that Stella was communicating to him over the past couple months. But he flips to a page, and he says, "Yes, yes, of course, that makes perfect sense. Stella has regularly seen a gaunt female figure in the ethereal plane. Something obviously that was a creature of some sort. She avoided it. She described it as sallow gray blue skin, deep set eyes, matted hair, and ram's horns with yellow sharp teeth. Um, she saw it in the part of the ethereal plane where the Barovian refugee camp was, outside of town.
Oh, all right.
And so whatever this was out there. I am going to Andy talking. I am going to share this with you because I have a book.
Take a look. It's in a book.
So there is an entry on night hags in ethereal entities, and also no, there's something on phase spiders as well. But there's
Oh, sorry. Can you share that again? I closed
of
by
course, yeah,
accident.
it's in the handout section as well. But yeah,
Look at that night hag.
yep. Matrons of Malevolence. So yeah, you're able to get that stuff from the book. But he's like, Victor kind of starts writing down all the details of this ritual with you, kind of figuring out. Looks like you can mostly use the teleportation circle with some modifications to enact it, I think. I might actually forget the details of the ritual itself. I think that's true. We might redact that.
Details are hazy.
Whatever.
Details are hazy.
Yeah, the details are hazy. Like I reviewed that part of my notes. But
Okay.
forget. That's in the future. It's a future session.
Right.
But whatever it is, you start writing, getting the details down of what this ritual would look like and how to perform it. Should you wish to get your party over to the ethereal plane, however, Mordenkainen is pretty clear that this the Heartstone of the Night Hag is the part that keeps the it is a relic of a night hag that keeps them linked to both the ethereal and the prime material planes at the same time. So it is its presence must be used in order to get people across without the arcane power necessary to actually fuel their own etherealness spell. That being said, Lee, as you are walking through town towards the Blacksmith Market Street area, you see that far down the street, the gates are open, and you see there is a small crowd of refugees that are starting to filter into the village of Alaki. Many of them are carrying bags or folded up tents and crates and boxes. But yeah, and then there's also in the town square, we've seen that crews of workers are being directed to sort of like take down some of the old market stalls or repurpose them into shelters in the square. But it seems like they're trying to move the refugee camp into the market square area of town.
Okay.
Let's see. The people here, as you recall, like it's been probably a few days since you guys saw the refugees, but you remember the look in many of their eyes, of just sort of like hopelessness. And you also remember that some of them looked even more like strung out and just kind of like dead inside. Um, one of them wandering by, you hear muttering about pies, which just makes your mouth instantly water.
I was wondering if some of them would still be addicted to the pies.
Right, so seems like it. Yeah. So that's kind of what you see as you're going towards the blacksmith. But then you would probably, where were you going to go after the blacksmith right there?
Probably back to Victor's house.
Okay. So yeah, I would say you probably meet up with Lee on the main Svalich Road, the main road that goes like east-west through town. And you see again. You also see this sort of. It's not like a huge. I guess they're probably huddled close together because it's a bunch of like refugees in this strange town. So there's kind of like a weird mass of like people that are wandering through this main street and are kind of being guided by some guards and workers towards the market, the main square. Irina sees that as well. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go help. I'm going to go help them set up in the new place. So I'll see you. Where can I meet you later?
We'll probably head back to the Blue Water Inn.
Okay, perfect. I will see you there tonight. I'll bring dinner. Wait, no, they always have dinner there. I'll bring something. Do you want me to check in on the silver thing, Ro? I can just take care of that if you wish.
Chicken, where?
With the blacksmith after she learns what she learns.
Oh, sure.
She just gives you a smile and says, "We got this. It's okay." But she is going to head off toward the refugees.
After she leaves, Rose starts walking towards Victor's house and says to Lee, "We either need to leave town or ask Fiona Watchster for help. There's not silver in this town. There's not enough silver in this town except what the Baron has collected."
I talked to the father. He has a few ideas, but none of them are perfect, of course.
The blacksmith will need ingots of silver to provide us with what we need, and there is not that available. However, the Baron has been collecting silver for some time, and I imagine that Lady Fiona has access. I do not like the idea of being indebted to her.
Yeah, that was one of the father's ideas, was that her mansion may have some cells in it, or cages.
I do
But
not
I
trust
think
her.
I don't either, not fully anyway. He also suggested there is the town well in the center. He also offered that Milivaj dig out some sort of crypt, but I'm not sure. Even if he suggested hiring additional workers, I don't know how much they can accomplish in 4 or 5 days. Last option was the lake. He said werewolves don't like water. We could maybe put you out on a boat in the middle of the lake. But that was what we could come up with.
Andy, do we know if there's like an island in the lake?
Stand by. Negative. Nope. Hey, you know what place had... There was that tower on Lake Baratok. Kazan's tower. Had like some fancy architecture. It had the basement, Lee, you remember, but that was full of
Yeah,
water.
the flooded basement.
It was submerged, yeah.
How long
Yeah,
did it
there's
take us
the...
to get up there?
Like a day.
And where, like, Zarevich is where the...
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking out of character, we could also drop her off at the meat pie lady's place and just see her in the wild.
No, she's a hag.
Just load her up with meat pies.
She's a fucking hag. Her and her daughters.
That's where we're gonna get the stone from.
I can't wait to slaughter them. It's gonna be great.
All right. Well, you guys would, whenever you wish, you can talk on the street as long as you want, but you would make it back.
Yeah, I figured we'd probably walk and talk.
Yep, make it back whenever you wish to Victor's workroom. You're let in up there without much issue. You might even pass the Baron inside, who just gives you the stink eye.
Just real mad that we're always in his house.
Yep, killing his minions.
Right, just showing up and killing people and then just coming back the next day like nothing happens.
That's right. Yeah. So you can make it up to Victor's place. Probably, we'll say it's right about the time you guys have you're compiling all your details on how to do this ritual, trying to workshop it. Silas.
We're gonna
Do
need
you
a
all
hag.
share your information?
Yeah, I'll share my information.
Information shared.
Ocean's 11 this operation.
Yep. Gonna need a hag.
So, if this one was, Victor says, if this entity was seen by Stella in the area of the refugees, perhaps one of them might have information about this being.
Looks like that's where we're gonna need to start. We're gonna have to interview a few of the refugees. I stand up and I kind of slap Corvus on the back. Guess we should get to work.
To work.
I think Corvus would look a little kind of confused and go, am I the only one seeing the connection?
I'm sorry?
To Meat Pie Lady.
What about her?
She's clearly a hag and her daughter's a part of a coven. That's what we just read about.
Oh.
She attacks people at night. I mean, Lee, you basically were a walking zombie for a while. I mean, we have the answer in front of us.
I thought you just made pies.
No. No one just makes pies.
Meat pies.
Meat pies. Well,
I mean, we can interview anyone you want, but that's why I'm putting what little, and I pull out 1 copper and 1 silver, putting my money on.
I've never seen you so passionate about something.
Ro picks up the silver and says, "We might need this."
I'm kind of inclined to follow your lead here.
I rub the copper, and I go, oh, that's a gold. There's 1 gold piece.
Man, Lee, you're hungry. People keep using the term meat pies, and you're really hungry right now.
It's like
Lee's just like, man, yeah, meat pie sounds really good right now. Let's go find the meat pie lady.
Yeah, let's
You guys
buy
need to
some
stop
of
using
those.
the word meat pie.
I knew she was nefarious, but I didn't think she was otherworldly nefarious. But I suppose we can solve two problems at once. We needed to deal with her anyway.
Did the daughters look just like her? I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure they did.
We never saw her daughters, right? She just talked about daughters.
Yeah.
She just mentioned her daughters.
Oh, maybe we should go look at these daughters.
Phrasing.
Open the flap. Open the flap, if you will.
Oh, Joe.
All right. Yeah, I guess Silas is a little taken aback by Corvus's passion in this because he seems pretty fired up.
Wanted to kill her from day one.
I guess it's worth a look.
So wait, you've met a hag?
According to Corvus, yes, we have.
Look, she came into town, she'd hang out outside, she gave away free pies, she'd mingle, and then she'd leave. But if she really is a hag, she would be devouring them at night. How many of the refugees have died? That's what I want to know. Perhaps those are the questions you should ask.
I doubt anybody took a tally, especially while I look at Victor. Never mind.
Well, according to what we read in the book, if you know who the hag is, or hags are, it's just a matter of getting the Heartstone, and it doesn't mean
They have to die.
you have to, yeah, or even they have to die. It's an object. Could be bartered for, or hags love bargains, according to this book. And they're legendary deal makers, so it's possible you could strike a bargain for it as well if you wish. But it's also known that the Heartstone is precious to them, and they would never permanently part with it. So to take it would obviously lead to some sort of incapacitating them or killing them in some way.
Ew.
They tend to gather in covens of 3.
Dying.
3, you say?
The Meatpie lady
You also
and
noticed-
her 2 daughters.
The first thing she said to us was, I don't suppose you're hungry? I'm just saying.
Here's something that
Well, according to this book, it sounds like a weakness might be their name.
Surely she wouldn't give us her real name.
Their true name.
the server's talking to you, Dane.
I see it.
What did the server say?
Hmm.
Victor didn't advise that. That's what he read in the book.
So the reason they have a Hearthstone or Heartstone, it's a defense mechanism to escape into the ethereal plane. The minute we try to engage this hag, it may try to use it to escape the ethereal plane, and if it does, there's nothing we can do about it. What we might be able to do is bind them here before they can use it.
How do we do that?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the answer?
We know they're weak to silver weapons as well. I think we're good there. But we may need to find some way to disable them or keep them from using the Heartstone. Again, the name seems important. we can find their true name, we might have some kind of power over them. Maybe like a command or.
Yes, I think that's important. He frantically flips through his spell book. Victor does. He says, "See, Kazan wrote extensively about binding circles. He was in particularly attuned with binding demons himself. But he goes on at lengths about what they are and how to use them, but the book itself provides no information on how to create one. It's infuriating, actually. Corvus, you notice Stella in the mirror is like trying to get y'all's attention. Silently, she's like waving and
Oh, hey, hold up. What's that, little miss? I'm gonna get closer to the mirror.
she starts doing a lot of like hand signals.
Victor, can you decipher what she's saying? Bless you.
He's allergic to the ethereal plane.
Jesus. It's hag thing. Hag's got a beat on this. Watches her for a moment and says, "You can't be steered." Absolutely not.
What is she saying?
Stella says she's seen such a circle before
Where?
while she was exploring the ethereal plane. She said that such a circle surrounds the entirety of Watcher House, so she can't even visit her family. She's been trying to go there to talk to her mother, but the circle's been keeping her out. So something about the Watcher House has a binding circle surrounding the entire thing, which I had no idea. Such
Why
magical
would there-
power was already in this town this entire time. The
Why would
Watchers
there
must
be a-
know something about magic.
Why would there be a binding circle around the
I
wall?
must have been researching up the wrong tree. Perhaps I should be talking to Fiona Watcher about my research.
Perhaps not.
But perhaps
We're gonna hold off on that. Gonna put a pin in that.
we do owe her a visit.
But why would there be a binding circle around their house?
This
where
is
the
very
plot
exciting.
thickens.
Where'd that wolf howl come from? Ro, was that you?
Bro, you got 5 days. Calm down.
Hold it in. Hold it together.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You hear some pounding footsteps and of someone rushing up the ladder to the attic.
Draw your weapons.
I am gonna tuck around the corner.
Do you?
I do. Yeah. I pull out my crossbow and just kind of duck behind the
Sure.
desk that I'm studying at.
All right. The door bursts open. It is
Fire.
Irina,
Oh, phew.
out of breath. And she says, I came as fast as I could. There are children missing from the refugee camp.
Oh my.
Meat pie lady. Meat pies.
Um,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Lee ate little kids. Oh my god.
I ate the meat pies before the refugee.
They were before they were cool.
Before it was cool.
there's a man who is super strung out and he can't find his children.
How
Thanks.
old were these children?
He thinks he sent them back with that old woman in the cart.
I think this clinches it. We need to take out this hag. Save those kids if we can.
Can't spook her though. If she disappears to the ethereal plane, that's our chance. Gone out the window.
Irina, are his children the only ones missing?
He was really hard to talk to, but his sister was there, and she said she didn't notice any other children. Well, there have been children that have been going missing over the past few months.
Son of a bitch, you ate kids.
You ate kids. You ate kids. You can say anything you want to, Lee. You ate kids.
I checked my notes. I think Ro ate kids too.
Oh my
did I?
god.
No, I didn't eat pies.
Are you sure? Because it definitely said Ro and Lee make a Constitution roll.
No, I totally did not eat meat.
That's not something I'd do.
No, I would not eat a pie.
Let me
I'm pretty
just
sure you did actually. 'cause
right
you,
there.
You just succeeded on your.
No. I think I'd remember if I ate a pie made of children.
I would remember if I ate a pie.
I would remember.
It's definitely in my
You
notes.
succeeded on your roll,
No,
and Lee did not.
I would not eat a kid pie.
You definitely ate a kid pie.
Nope.
You
Maybe
ate what?
maybe
You
we
ate
can
what?
set up some kind of ambush by putting those 3 fake children in the corner out in the woods. And then when she comes to grab the fake children, we say her name.
God. If there are like kids being eaten, Ro can't go to the lake. God damn it. I'm gonna turn into a goddamn werewolf. Because
All
you won't let me leave this goddamn town.
Oh, because Lee ate a kid pie.
Ugh.
Um,
I'm just gonna make a new character.
Was the meat tender?
Except
Lee, exceptionally tender. Almost like veal of sorts.
and before we face this hag, I think I need to eat a huge meal and get really full.
well, um,
Do we have
I
time?
guess like 3 weeks ago, Irina say that you asked her about more kids, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to say because they were in such a bad spot, anyways. But it sounds like this isn't the first time. You know, with Franz, he was the one whose kids are missing. He got these pies from Morgantha, that old lady peddler, and they let him dream of his wife, he said, and he kept buying them so that he could keep having these dreams, except he ran out of money. And then I guess he gave them to the peddler, his kids to the peddler.
How long ago?
He gave his children to the peddler for dream pies?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How long ago did he give his children to her?
He 2 nights ago.
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
Oh
They
my
cooked
god.
Their pies already.
I told you guys we
Oh
had
my
to
God.
deal with the meat pie lady.
Ugh. I just want to deal with being a werewolf.
So we need to stop her from transporting to the ethereal plane. Is that it? So one way is to find their true name and their number.
Commander to stop. Well, a binding circle, like the one that's around the Watcher house, but I don't know how to create one of those.
So if we could lure her to the Watcher house, maybe then. But
That's
we could
true.
activate it
Tell her she
somehow.
can have Stella. Is Stella a kid?
Irina says, but you remember that the old mill was more than a day's travel from here.
Yeah, everything's really far away. We're fucked.
We just need a kid to lure them in. What happened to that little girl that was with
We sent her to her
yeah.
grandmother.
Yeah. She'd probably help us, right?
If she is in a cart and she left 2 days ago,
She's coming back.
then
Then.
she's been in her mill for a day.
Von Ricken was with her though, and he's pretty competent.
Right? I'm not worried about Annabelle. There-
So it seems like we have to wait for her return.
Did you give away your
There-
ghost dog? You gave away your ghost dog,
I
didn't you?
did that badass and fell down like a
That
a
fell
hill.
off a fucking mountain.
A fucking mountain.
However,
It
we
just
probably
felt
could have
right.
used that ghost dog.
No, it felt right. That's what needed to happen.
Okay.
All right, if she left 2 days ago and it takes a day, by the time we get there, the kids will have been at the mill for 2 days. There's no way they're still alive.
Yeah, she milled them up. Whatever she does in that mill. Ground them up,
She
make
makes
her pies.
kid meat
Yeah,
Do you
what
pies.
is
know
it?
how often she visited the refugees?
She about once a week.
So,
She wouldn't be due to coming back to town for.
okay, what if we have Lee, because he likes the pies, he orders some pies. He orders them to the Watcher house. Obviously, to make sure that she comes to order the pie, we offer to trade some children. Where we get those, I don't know, but we'll put Corvus on that one. But because she'll be sure to come if there are children involved, right? And then bing, bang, boom, she's in the binding circle.
So
She entered the binding circle?
That's a
Yeah,
good
dude.
question.
Does it need to be
Um,
activated somehow?
We need to seal her in it, so I'm guessing there's some kind of. Victor, do you know anything about that?
About sealing her in the circle.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Watcher House circle. This is what Stella told me today is the first I've heard anything about it.
Wonder if it's already sealed.
But Fiona Watcher may know, or perhaps there are books in the Watcher line. If they were able to make such a circle, obviously someone in their family history has been able to do such magics.
That makes me really worried, because why is it there in the first place? Does Stella know?
He communicates with her for a moment, and he says she didn't know it was there until she saw it as a spirit.
So if the hag
I-
walks into the house and then tries to run to the ethereal plane, she's trapped inside the house.
In theory, she's bound within the circle.
Victor says, I have a concern. What if she doesn't bring her heartstone with her?
That's a good point.
Irina says, I have a concern. What if the kids aren't dead yet, guys?
The mill's not even on the way to the lake, is it?
Nope. Sure
The
is
mill's in the
not.
other direction. So we're
Yep.
gonna go to the mill, and then we're gonna be 4 days away from the lake.
From Kresk, you mean?
Which lake?
So
Which lake has the stuff?
The one out. Oh, Baratok. Yeah.
the one that
okay.
is way further away.
I think we need to find her contract. I think we need to find her name. We need to do it in a way that we're not going to alert her, so she just jumps into the ethereal plane right away. But they hide their contracts. They don't want anybody to see them.
You think, Victor says, you like in a layer of some sort.
Yeah. A hag layer with layer actions.
Sounds like a really cool encounter area.
Okay.
Which is it Lake Baratok that has the Wolf Spain?
Nope.
Which
No-
lake has the
no,
Wolf
it's
Spain?
fucking
Kresk.
Where's fucking Lake Kresk?
It's past Lake Baratok. Also, you don't need to swear. I'm right here.
Past Lake Baratok. It's like
Yep.
not even on our map.
No, it's on the map. I'm pretty sure it's over here in the mountains. That thing. I think that's Kresk.
Oh my god.
we're fucked. Okay.
It's so if we go to the mill, we will be 2 days further away from Wolfsbane.
I think it's
Okay.
a 2 days travel from Valaki to Kresk. Yes.
All right.
You know what?
Here's
Against the
what
hag, a werewolf might be a good thing to have on our side.
right here.
Not that it would really be on our side. It'd be kind of like a rabid dog that you let off the leash and hope that doesn't come back at you.
Look, I'm just saying.
No offense. No offense, Ro.
Take it.
If you really are gonna become a veritable monster, wouldn't it make sense to spend the last couple of days possibly saving a child, and then we just tie you up
And
to
then
one of the
murdering
mill?
everyone?
No, one of the mill wings, and we just spin it up in the air.
Tie me up, tie some ropes around me, and then when I turn into a monster and bust the ropes and murder all of you and rampage.
You might be allergic to ropes.
I'm not on that.
It's 5 days to the full moon. We have 1 day to get out to the mill, 1 day to get back. That leaves us 3 days to figure out someplace to stash you for the night.
And the father did say he wanted to come along, so that's an extra
No
fighter.
matter where it happens.
He said he wanted to be there. He wanted to be. Father Lucian had no idea you guys are going to be leaving town. Father Lucian said he wants to be there when you guys are like tying Ro up. He said he wants to help watch her overnight.
It's 5 days till the full moon?
Yep.
Like 5 days for not counting tonight.
Right.
But Father
And
Lucian
it's
also
1
had
day
no
to the
idea.
mill or 2 days to the mill.
1 day of the mill.
We got this.
1 day
Father
out.
Lucian also didn't have any idea that the guy he was just talking to ate kids not too long ago.
I didn't need any kids.
So, what
I
if we
mean-
go talk to the lady, get our reward, because it might actually be helpful. We might stumble into some information, and then we steal a horse and go to the mill.
Steal a horse. Well, I'll ride it.
Stella's been signing, and Victor translates and says, Stella says that her mother will help. She seems adamant about that.
Let's
She
go
also
talk to him.
Asked, he kind of like gives Stella a little look. She asked that if you could convince her mother to lower the circle for a moment in order to let Stella see her.
I'm still worried about why that circle is there.
Yeah.
The circle's there for Stella, okay, but I have a feeling
No, I
it's
don't think the
keeping
circle's
something
there
in.
for Stella.
Well, she seemed to be someone who was pretty smart when she was talking about the rulers of this country. Perhaps she's keeping something out.
Binding circle generally is to trap something inside of it, though.
Maybe there's something
Anyways, we won't find anything else. We won't find anything out unless we go talk to her.
Seems like that's our next bid.
Right. So it is that. Are you guys going to do anything else with Victor before you go to Watch Your House, or is it just Watch Your House next?
I mean,
Let's watch your house next.
you don't want to give him the wand? Give him the wand.
No, don't.
No, we don't know what the wand does. We don't know what it does.
He seems good.
Dude trapped his girlfriend on the ethereal plane. Fucking around with magic he doesn't understand.
He
You're
was
the one
playing.
that took it away from him.
Isn't it a fresh new day? Can't you make another attempt?
Oh, we
Do it
could.
right in front of him.
All right.
Pull out the wand
Hold
and
on.
identify. No,
We
we
just
leave.
whip this out.
We leave Victor's house.
Yeah, we're gonna leave. We're
Victor's
gonna leave
house.
Victor's house.
Right outside the
You did
house.
identify it. Didn't you identify it?
I thought
We identified
did.
the ring. We both tried to identify the wand and failed.
I thought it was
So
the
it's
other way
still
around.
just
I
a
felt like
wand,
that.
wand of Kazan.
No, didn't it do something? Fuck.
Yeah, I thought you guys had identified it.
I don't know.
Didn't Victor use it? I don't know if he identified it, but I thought he used it.
What
Use
was the
magic.
It's in
ring?
the fight.
I don't have either.
All right, hold on. I'm looking at Kazan wand. That's all I have for it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you did try to this current game day. You did did successfully identify it in the morning, and
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
I
remember
feel like we
thinking-
tried to, and I remember failing, and then Abe also failed, which I thought was odd because we were both pretty good at the things we were testing.
so I remember there was something, I don't know if it was the wand or some other item, where Andy like basically had to build it or make it.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
wand. The wand. I'm almost certain that someone did. I think maybe Victor did because you guys both rolled bad, and then he ended
That's
up
right.
getting-
Maybe he identified it.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell you though, 'cause you took it from him.
Thank you.
I feel like it's some kind of ghosty thing.
He's like, oh, that one, it's nothing. It's just a stick. Give it back.
Just a stick.
It's just a stick. Give me back that stick.
It allows you to attune to a different during daily preparations. You can attune to a different school of magic, and you gain access to a spell from that school of magic. Like one use of that per day.
Ah, okay.
So it has like
We're not gonna use that. He could use it.
I think like you weren't super interested in having it until you heard that, Dane, and then you're like, oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
What did the
Last
ring
episode.
do?
It was a ring,
Ring-
of silence.
Yeah, so I don't have to rest for a full 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, that's pretty
You don't sleep
badass.
for 2 hours.
Cheers. But I have to wear it for a week before I can attune to it.
I mean, you're gonna be dead. Rose is gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill all of
we-
you. I can't go to the goddamn lake and get my wolfsbane.
This has just been the intro to our campaign of Strahd. We're all about to get new characters. It's fine. To the Watchter House.
To the Watcher
To
House.
the watch house.
I think Watcher House would be a great place for us to pick up next
Yep.
week. Talking to Lady Watcher about binding rituals and what she knows about creepy binding magic.
Talk to
Sounds
Watchter.
good to me.
I mean, she does seem like she's probably in bondage.
Yeah, and she's gonna
Creepy.
find out I'm a werewolf, and then she's gonna trap me and be like, well, now you're my pet werewolf.
I mean, we could just be like, by the way, we know how to free your daughter, so just give us whatever we want.
And the rewards. Don't forget about the rewards. I mean, it could be real good.
Maybe it's silver manacles. Otherwise, I'm gonna murder all of you.
I mean, that'd be very convenient.
Should probably make up. I need to build a werewolf row. Good point.
But given it's gonna happen, it's just what are the circumstances?
Right, because I mean, at this point, we're not getting to that lake to get wolfsbane
Yeah,
in time.
no, you're not. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to cure you in time if we.
So
So
what
You
we're
can just
doing,
forget about that.
But,
no,
Forget
it's
about it.
not gonna fucking happen.
but what if you get like
So
+2 to all of your attributes, like permanently?
could I murder people once a month?
Maybe. That's something I'm
I mean,
willing to risk.
but +2 to your attributes.
Like, come on.
I'm going to say that as you guys are approaching, this is where I'm going to end it for tonight, just for fun. As you guys are approaching the door to Watcher House, who I'm gonna roll a d4. Everyone call it a number 1 to 4 except Rachel.
3.
3.
I got it first.
2.
Everyone call 1.
So, Chris, call it. You say 4, Chris?
And before, yeah.
All right, who called 2?
Not me.
Dane.
Two.
All right, so Silas, you're the closest. You
Oh no.
hear super clearly a really loud growling come from Ro's stomach as you're walking up the steps towards the Watcher House front doors. Ro, people have been talking about meat pies all
Oh
morning.
my god.
You
ate
are hungry. You are hungry for something that was once alive.
Cool.
Oh boy.
That's
Great.
probably fine.
It's great.
Real hungry.
I mean, plants are alive, so that counts.
Yeah, eat some grass.
I'll just have a carrot. It's fine.
You would like something that can bleed.
Great.
Like a meat pie.
Raw and wriggling.
Yeah, that sounds good, actually.
Ugh.
Mouth waters a little bit
Ooh, you're gonna be a
with
werewolf.
that.
That'd be a werewolf.
It's so funny because, like, last campaign, you were so stoked to
I
be
wanted to be a werewolf.
werewolf. You have to, like, be the one that, like, got bit and failed your saving
Uh-huh.
throw on this one. Well,
I'm so
I
excited.
does not want to be a werewolf.
for sure.
She could be pretty epic.
All right.
Thanks, friends.
Well, we will
Thanks,
see
guys.
what Fiona has to say next time. Maybe make it to the old mill,
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
also known as Old Bone Grinder.
Old bone grinder.
Joe.
It's the-
Goodbye.
That's what it's
friend.
originally called in the
What?
maps. In this the Curse of Strahd module, they actually have it named on the maps, Old Bone Grinder, and like one of the first things I did, I'm like, it obviously can't be called Old Bone Grinder.
Yeah.
Little on the nose.
Like,
Little on the nose.
especially with like you meet an old lady outside of it first
Uh-huh,
day,
at the Old Bone
everyone's
Grinder.
immediately gonna be like, 30 kids over there.
Yup.
There you kids.
Yup.
Not a fan. Not a fan.